So today, a little bit of happiness and joy. And you can do this whether it's pouring with rain outside or whether it's sunny. And you could do this outside. You could take it on a picnic with you. You could take it to a friend's house. You can do this absolutely anywhere you want. You could be a complete crazy person and do it on your own, like I did this morning, because I was feeling a little bit, I was absorbing a lot of emails that I'd had over the weekend, and I was thinking, I need to think of all the things that I'm grateful for and to explore this swirl of feelings that I've had inside me this morning. And I've had some really, really good news, which I've got to share with you. It's amazing. My eldest son, who has been through so much. If only I could tell you, if only you knew our story. He has been through so much. And his art was his strength, his song. You know how I always talk about how everybody has something that lights them up, something that will help get them through, their strength, their gift. And every single person in this life has challenges and issues, and every single person in this life has strengths, regardless of whether you have autism, ADHD, dyslexia, whether you're neurodiverse, neurotypical. We are all a global community. We are all unique human beings, and each of us has strengths. Each of us has something to be thankful for, and each of us has a challenge. So today, I'm really thinking about the things I'm grateful for. And going back to my son, my amazing James, he got the results of his degree today in art. And he, again, like my second son, was totally written off by a couple of teachers. One in particular told him he'd never amount to anything. And through sheer perseverance and all of us believing in his gift, but most of all James believing in his gift, he got the news today that he was 2 points off from gaining a first in art. And he made me cry because he said not only does he want to go on and teach art as well as do his art because he's incredibly gifted. I'm not just being a boastful mummy, but he is. Oh, he really is. He is art. He's amazing. But he actually wants to take his art into working with kids with different abilities. And I did. I broke down on the phone. Hence, I'm a little bit red-eyed. And that is one massive thing that I am thankful for today. And going back to gratitude, it's a proven fact. And I've talked about this in other videos about different scientific researchers who have proven the link between gratitude and, better relationships in work, in life, better resilience to stress, all of these things. So I'm not going to go through it again here and bore you to tears. But a more recent piece of information I found out about gratitude is that if every day you think of just 3 things that you are grateful for, it actually begins to rewire the neurological pathways of the brain to make you more positive, more resilient, and more able to reach your full potential, more able to deal with the curved balls that life throws at you. My mum said to me once, the reason I'm little is because I've had quite a few curved balls, and that's why I didn't grow straight. Thanks for that, Mum. She's probably right. But I like curvy. I'm not one of those box people and straight line people, although everybody has their place in this world. But being a little bit curvy is a good thing for my life because it makes it interesting, makes me tenacious, makes me industrious, makes me resilient. So I'm quite glad I've had a few curveballs because it's given me enormous heart wisdom as well as cognitive knowledge. So you can turn this into a game. So say you've got a child who has ADHD and is going to find it really difficult to sit and focus. And there's nothing wrong with that because actually once you tap into what they're really, really passionate about, my goodness me, there's no stopping them. You don't need to force them into a chair. But you might have a child who's a little bit distracted, short concentration span, or PDA, pathological demand avoidance. So rather than say, well, I'd like you to sit down and think of 3 things you're grateful for, you could turn it into a game. And when you turn anything into a game, it instantly becomes an invitation. And being part Italian and being a mum, you kind of develop these super levels of sneakiness, but it's nice sneakiness. It's not cruel sneakiness, because I don't like that. It's actually really pleasant, fun, a little bit naughty, but you know, you're going to get all this neuroplasticity, as they call it. So neural being brain, plasticity, if you imagine plasticine and being able to mould it, you're rewiring the brain. And as I'm always saying, all our cells carry memory. So when things are an invitation and you're having fun with it, if a child is in a fun and relaxed state, it only takes 4 to 6 times for the same message to go in there and rewire their brain, rewire the memory in their cells, rewire their hard drive. So it's powerful stuff. So I may look like some funny nutter who sits around playing games and going off on these meditations, but actually it's magic. It's pure magic, because you engage the child in a way that you're not making them feel like they're having a therapy. I'm never a therapist to these kids, ever. I'm just Juliana. Make of that what you will. And so I turn things into games. So the first thing I've got here is a gratitude game. And you can use buttons, you could use pieces of coloured paper, you could use bottle tops, but I'm being really naughty today and I'm using M&Ms and Skittles. Now, if you've got a child who reacts really badly to that and goes up on the ceiling, don't use it. I might be on the ceiling for the rest of the day, but then again, I'm there anyway, so no one will notice the difference. So this is what I'm going to do. So I've got a little gratitude game here, which I printed out. So red is name a person you are thankful for. Yellow, name a place you're thankful for. Green, name a food you're thankful for, and so on. But you can make up your own. Take a game, make it your own. And that way, it's very empowering to the child. It is very bonding as a family. Say you each think of a colour and each think of something you'd like to know everyone is thankful for, and all do it together. So I'm going to have a little go, only on a couple because I've got other games to show you. So what have I got? Green. Name a food I'm thankful for, and you get to eat the sweetie too. Pasta. Pasta. I loved my nonna's. She taught me how to make it. We used to dry spaghetti on towels over the doors. Amazing. Anyway, you don't need my life history, and I need another M&M. What have we got now? Right, we've got, oh, I nearly peeked. Name something you're thankful for. A thing. A thing. My work. My work. And all the beautiful kids who come into my life. You can also turn it into a feelings game or a memory game. Now, a memory game will help boost focus, memory, concentration. All fantastic for ADHD, autistic spectrum disorders, dyslexia, ADHD, neurotypical. We don't need to have all these labels, but I'm just explaining how it will help certain things. So I've got here, tell us something about yesterday, something you can do well, something about your childhood, something you learned last week, something you can't live without, something you watch or listen to. So I'll do a couple from there. This is just to give you ideas. You can make up your own. You can even print things like this off the internet. If you look up the M&M's feelings game, you can print it off for free. But don't stick to the rules. Make your own. I never stick to rules. This is why I went curvy, you see. This is why I went little. Right, I have got orange. Tell us something you do well. Talk. Talk I do well. Laugh. Usually inappropriately in the wrong moments. But that's me. I'm not orange again. Need a different colour. No, I don't. I've done that one. I keep picking out the same colour. Things I do well. Blue. Something I learned last week. Well, last week I went on a very special talk for, it was all linked with ADHD Europe, and I learned an awful lot from the other speakers there. Particularly one who talked about what it's like to be an autistic mum. Really brilliant, really insightful. Now I'm going to do a bit about feelings. And you can also ask your child, where do you feel the feeling in your body? Because that makes them very emotionally aware, self-aware, interpersonally aware. You see, all these things you're learning just through a game. What have we got here? Say one thing that makes you happy. For every brown one, say one thing that makes you sad. One thing that makes you angry, one thing that makes you excited, one poor choice you made today that you could have done differently, and orange, a good choice you made today. I'll do 2. Red. One thing that makes me happy. Making these videos and reaching so many more of you globally. Thank you, my cherubs. Thank you, my darlings. You make me happy every day. I actually mean that. I'm getting a bit hyper from these sweets. I better only do one more. Purple. Oh, one thing that makes me sad. Cruelty. Cruelty makes me sad. We don't want to end on a sad note though. I'm going to do one more. Oh, what makes you happy? You've had that. Yellow. What's one thing that makes me excited? Growing. Growing makes me excited. Life makes me excited. Because when I grow, I appreciate life even more. And I love every last little drop of life. It's wonderful. So you take care, my darlings, and have a fabulous week.